This is a HeadGum podcast.
Chicago, the Windy City. Guess who's blown into town?
Us, we are.
Us, the Complete Guide to Everything. We're doing our first live show ever in Chicago on June 16th. That's a Sunday, 4 p.m. at the Tack Room. The Tack Room, right?
Yeah, everybody knows
it's
that.
It's part of the Thalia Hall.
Yeah, everyone in Chicago's like, yeah, we know. We know exactly where that is.
Yeah, it's an entire weekend of HeadGum shows. But, you know, the Sunday at 4 p.m. at the Tack Room is ours.
Yeah, look, go to the other shows if you must, but definitely don't make us look like asses here. Go to our show. It's people in Chicago.
Don't go
in
to
the Midwest.
every other show and then purposely skip ours just to razz us.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Tickets are only $10 too. They're cheap, and you can buy tickets headgum.com/live. Again, that's June 16th. The Complete Guide to Everything in Chicago. It's a small room, so I have no idea if how quickly tickets will go.
You better get tickets.
If you're
You've been
thinking
telling
about
us we
it,
should go to Chicago for years. We're going to Chicago.
HeadGum. Oh, I thought we were going to say it in unison.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
HeadGum.com/live.
What?
HeadGum.com/live. Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, it's mayonnaise time.
It's mayonnaise week here on the Complete Guide to Everything.
All week, Monday through Friday. Mayonnaise, mayonnaise, mayonnaise.
It's more mayo than you could stick your face in. Well, if you stuck your face in all this mayo, you'd surely drown.
Well, not if it was just your face. I guess maybe if you didn't have if you were like a baby and you couldn't roll over or something, it could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm thinking
that's something a lot of people don't think. Like a lot of people buy mayonnaise in bulk. You gotta be careful. You can drown in enough mayonnaise. You can drown in a puddle of mayonnaise.
Yeah, if you go to Costco and buy a large industrial-sized mayonnaise container and you have a small child,
be careful.
Yeah, keep that mayo locked up and refrigerated. You need a refrigerator with a deadbolt on it.
Ask at like the Costco or Sam's Club or whatever if they have a mayonnaise with a child-proof cap that they'll sell to you.
Yeah,
because you're afraid of what might happen.
You hear horror stories. Somebody finds their toddler just in a huge jar of mayonnaise.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes a while. They don't even know, depending on how big the jar of mayonnaise is.
Some of these babies, they're not developed enough to know that they can just eat their way out.
Yeah.
Just same as if you're ever drowning, just drink your way out.
Well, and conversely, don't try and kill a man in a big jar of mayonnaise because they'll know that they can just eat their way out.
Yeah.
There are better ways to kill a man. We'll get to those later.
Yeah.
Tim, mayonnaise, I feel like, is a very divisive topic.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on mayonnaise? Mayonnaise has somehow become one of those things that people are like, ooh, mayonnaise, I hate mayonnaise.
Well, do you say mayonnaise or mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, right?
Yeah, mayo. You know what, Tim? To be honest, if it's just friends, I'll just say mayo.
Yeah, let's Tom. Mm-hmm. We've both said mayonnaise, mayonnaise enough. Let's agree. We can just say mayo from here on out. I think we've established.
I won't agree to that, but I'll try.
Okay. Well, this was just to
look. I just want
to make you more comfortable.
I know, but I want to keep some breathing room. If maybe later in the episode things get a little more formal, that I can start saying mayonnaise again.
I'm not going to try to tear you down for using it, but what I'm saying is, you can feel comfortable just saying mayo in front of me from now on.
Okay, good.
And that doesn't just apply to during this recording.
Oh, just anytime?
In life. If
we ever
forward.
run into each other outside the studio?
In the unlikely event that we ever run into each other outside of the studio, mayo is fine.
Okay. So how do you feel about mayo?
I don't like it.
What don't you like about it?
It skeeves me out. If you told me to eat a spoonful of mayo, I'd puke all over your shoes.
Well, look, nobody's telling you to eat a spoonful of mayo. I'm asking, mayo is not a food to be eaten on its own.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you can't eat a spoonful of something, you shouldn't be eating it at all.
Would you eat a spoonful of ketchup?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll admit eating
it wouldn't make me puke all over your shoes the way that
a spoonful of ketchup would be easier to stomach than a spoonful of mayo, but I still wouldn't want to do it.
Look, nobody wants to eat at all.
Yeah. What? No, people want to eat. I want to eat all the time.
If we didn't have to eat, that would be so great.
Why? That's one of the few joys in life is eating.
No, imagine one of the few perils in life is trying to figure out what to eat next.
That's true.
And how you're gonna acquire it.
Yeah. Yeah, right. We've graduated from being like hunters, and farmers to now just consumers. But still, so much of our day is spent thinking about. So much of my day is spent thinking about what I'm going to eat, and then making the worst choice possible anyway.
Yeah, Tom, I've been meal prepping a lot lately.
Yeah,
same breakfast, same lunch every day.
And what are those?
A breakfast,
bowl of mayonnaise, a bowl of ketchup.
Tom, 2 bowls of ketchup. Have you not been paying
for
attention?
Lunch, right.
Yeah.
Or for breakfast, it's the most important meal of the day.
No, why would you eat something that... This was always my thing, and this is partly why I'm a vegetarian.
Uh-huh.
Because when I was a kid, I'd go to McDonald's, but the meat would skeeve me out.
Yeah.
But if there's cheese and condiments and fixins
and bread
around it, I'm like, all right, I'll have this.
Yeah.
But at the core, it's still a thing that I'm grossed out eating. Why don't I take the gross thing out, right?
Yeah.
And mayo is one of those gross
That's
things.
the same reason why I'll often order a 20-piece nugget and then just eat all the skins. Just all
the breading?
Yeah, the breading.
It's not the skins.
That's not skin?
No.
Huh.
Yeah. No, Tom.
You sure?
No, yeah, because what they do is they take all the gross parts of the chicken and they mash it all up and then bread it.
Oh.
And you eat the breading, so that's probably better.
Yeah, it's probably better for me.
There's beaks in it.
Yeah, it's just fried bread. What could be bad about that?
I know I'm getting grosser as I get older because I don't hate mayo as much as I used to.
So you think that makes you gross? Not you're getting less opposed to things you formerly found gross. That liking mayonnaise makes you a grosser person.
What is mayo? It's oil.
Mm-hmm.
It's egg yolks.
Yeah.
And it's some sort of acid.
Some sort of acid, usually like a vinegar or lemon. Look, we'll get into how to make mayonnaise.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
you're giving away all the secrets.
People are all.
People have to sit through an ad in the middle before they find out how to make mayonnaise.
Yeah. Hey, stay tuned after the break.
How to make mayonnaise.
Mayo, Tom, please.
What
are you? Some
mayo.
highfalutin ad?
Yeah, when it comes to mayonnaise, sometimes I am. Mayonnaise is one of the... I'll let you finish before I give my... I have a prepared statement about mayonnaise.
Okay, I like it in the right context, and I think I was probably being a little unfair when I said that if you couldn't eat a spoonful of it without puking on your shoes, you shouldn't eat it at all. It's
all
good
things
in the context
moderation
of
moderation in all things. Tim.
Yeah, but traditionally, I haven't been a mayo fan. I'm learning to like it now, and you're trying to point out that's a way that maybe I'm maturing or my palate is maturing.
Yeah, you're becoming a man.
But it's just gross things mixed together. I guess vinegars and I guess vinegar is gross.
Vinegar is pretty. I mean,
this might be the grossest of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't eat a spoonful of vinegar.
Oh, you ever take some apple cider vinegar before you go to bed?
No, I've had apple cider vinegar. I've never done the before I go to bed thing.
Yeah, you need the one with the mother in it. Anyway, go on.
Wait, what?
You were talking.
Mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise. Look, I don't care who knows it.
Tom.
I'll shout it from the rooftops. I've had to keep my opinions to myself far too long.
No, you have. You've never kept one opinion of yours to yourself.
No, there was a time where
when have you ever felt like
people who liked mayonnaise were shamed for a while, until enough of us got up the gumption
Gumpture.
Well, what the hell is gumption anyway?
Does eating a lot of mayo make you stupid?
No. Tim, it
slows down your brain. It
look,
clogs up all the
all
pathways
the
in your
neurons
brains. Yeah.
The neural pathways.
Yeah.
No, and also to be clear, a few things about me and mayonnaise. I don't eat a lot of mayonnaise. I don't eat a lot of it. It's not like, oh.
I think you probably do.
Like I
think if you
mayonnaise.
told the doctor how much mayonnaise you ate, he'd be like, "Oh shit, Tom, that's a lot of mayonnaise."
Well, no doctor's ever asked. I mean, you don't have to tell a doctor anything unless they ask you directly.
Yeah,
that's the rule with doctors.
And you're technically allowed to lie to a doctor.
Yeah.
Lie all the time.
No court in America is going to convict you for
don't
lying
tell
to
me
a
I'm
doctor.
sick.
Yeah, what do you know?
How you feeling, Tim? Great. That's all you need to know for us.
Yeah, great. I had a mayo sandwich on the way here.
Yeah.
It's delicious. I don't eat mayonnaise that much. I will admit that occasionally when I buy a pre-made sandwich at the supermarket near me that already has mayonnaise on it, I'll put a little more mayonnaise on it.
That's gross.
It's not gross. They don't put enough mayonnaise on it.
No, I find myself scraping mayonnaise off of sandwiches.
Sometimes, sure, but not at this place. At this place, I actually feel like they're doing a disservice because they're putting not enough mayonnaise to satisfy somebody who likes mayonnaise.
A monster like you.
But enough mayonnaise that if you don't like mayonnaise, you're going to be like, ugh, no, I don't want this. It has some mayonnaise on it. I don't like any mayonnaise. They should shit or get off the pot as far as I'm concerned with their mayonnaise.
You're absolutely wrong on that.
Either don't put any mayonnaise on at all or start putting more on.
Why are you buying pre-made sandwiches at the supermarket? What's your life?
It's easy, man. I don't like buying like sandwich stuff. Look, whenever I buy sandwich stuff and I take it home, I think like, oh, I'm going to make sandwiches at home. I never get the right amount of everything.
You want a sandwich, Tom? Go to a deli.
Oh, no, I'm not going to go to a deli.
You getting a pre-made thing that's made in some warehouse and put in a truck?
No. They make it at the deli there.
They don't, Tom.
Yeah, they do. I see them making it. I'm like, oh, those are today's sandwiches,
You're
huh?
full of beans, Reynolds.
No, I know they make them there because if I have time, I will have them make me a fresh sandwich. I'll bring them a sandwich from the shelf and say, make this for me, but fresh. Tom,
I feel like maybe we should both. I feel like we came in really hot on Mayo Week.
Yeah, well,
we both been like screaming at each other for 15 minutes.
Look,
maybe we just slow things down. Maybe we get some mayo in the veins.
Oh, boy, I'd love that. Oh, I was gonna say the other thing about me with mayonnaise. The first thing
we're taking it down.
The first thing is I don't eat a ton of mayonnaise. I'm not a monster.
I think you do, though.
But the second thing is mayonnaise is one of the areas where I will not skimp. I will not be cheap with my mayonnaise. When I go to the mayonnaise aisle and I look at everything on offer, which I'll tell you, every time I go there, they're adding to the repertoire.
It's appalling how many different varieties of mayo there are.
For people that aren't in America and don't go to like American supermarkets, it's gotten to the point where everybody's like, this is too much choice for everything. And mayonnaise seems like it's the latest product.
You got that Mr. Sir Kensington's. You see that everywhere?
Yep. Well,
I almost bought one of those, but it was like $12. And I was like, I'm just going to go with Hellman's, man.
Yeah, I would actually, I'll give the caveat that I will buy the nicest mayonnaise they have as long as it's Hellman's. So, but basically what I mean is that I'll buy the organic Hellman's or whatever. Hellman's. I will not.
Olive oil.
Yeah, the olive oil is good. I will not risk an unknown mayonnaise brand because I always feel like it's going to be some mayonnaise that tells me this is actually the way mayonnaise should be. And, I've been bitten before.
Well, you like low-class tastes, right? You
I
have
like
low-class tastes.
And
you like things that are low-class. Things that low-class people like, you like.
I like the...
I don't mean financially or economically. I just mean in terms of taste level.
I like whatever the low-class brand is. give me like their premium version.
Okay.
So give me Hellman's, but give me the organic Hellman's, and then I'll feel like I'm part of the bourgeoisie. Although, you know what, Hellman's is no, I would say that that's a middle tier brand, because you can get the store brand that's going to be even cheaper.
That's coming out of the same factory. That's coming out of the Hellman's factory, my friend.
No, you can look on the back and it will say what factory it came from.
Yeah, and it'll and then compare that to the Hellman's.
And see if they both say Hellman's.
Yeah.
But so every time I go there, though, they've got different types of mayonnaise, different brands of mayonnaise, even within the brands. What was the Sir
Kensington, I think it is, the new one.
But even amongst Hellman's, they've got a dozen, and then you get into the squeeze and the light versus the
I just
heavy.
bought mayo because I was making sauce for these veggie burgers I was making, Tom.
Yeah.
And the sauce
mayonnaise sauce?
Well, it was essentially, it was this place, Superiority Burger, which is a place in the East Village.
Yeah.
And they have whatever. But they came out with a cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, cool, I love this stuff. I can make it at home.
Yeah.
That way somebody's grubby hands aren't all over this stuff before mine. And they're like, here's how you make the secret sauce. And it's basically like mayo, ketchup, and hot sauce, and you mix that together. But it's delicious, Tom.
Did you know, I learned this recently, that when you buy Chicken McNuggets at McDonald's now, one of the options for sauces is Big Mac sauce. They'll give you a little thing of Big Mac sauce. They call it signature sauce.
Signature sauce?
Yeah, which, okay. Yeah, it is their signature sauce. If McDonald's were to have a signature sauce, it would be the Big Mac sauce.
I agree with you 100%. I don't know if I want a nugget dipped in that.
Yeah, I tried
Context
it.
is everything, right?
Yeah, 4-piece nuggets only $1 right now.
Wow.
I mean, participation may vary.
Yeah.
Depending on where you are in the lower 48.
And is that for the whole nugget or just the skins?
Well, I only eat the skins. They'll sell you the whole nugget, but you only need the skins.
Right.
But I got the signature sauce. I was like, I wonder if this is what I would assume is their signature sauce. I'd never seen it as an option before.
You go to McDonald's a lot.
Yeah, it's great. It's a delicious, cheap place to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I've been going there a lot lately for coffees, and I've been very good as far as not saying, oh, let's see what they got going on in the biscuit area while I'm here for a coffee.
Their chicken biscuit.
They don't have that anymore, but yeah, that was the best.
In 2011, I ate that. I think I had 3 of those a day.
Yeah, it was peanut oil fried. It was
amazing. Yeah.
With a pickle on it.
Yeah, I shaved like 8 years off my life doing that.
But it was well worth it.
Yeah.
But so I got the signature sauce and had it with my nuggets. And
you got a salad at McDonald's the other day?
Yeah. It wasn't bad. I'll tell you what.
My thing is also like, why not just go get a salad at a place that serves salads?
I'll tell you why. Because that salad would be triple the price.
For a reason.
Not a reason that I'm able to discern.
All right.
It doesn't taste as good as this, which had like a McChicken in there or whatever.
Yeah, as you were describing the salad, you burped into the microphone.
Yeah,
I rest
hungry.
my case.
So I had the signature sauce, and it wasn't bad with nuggets, but come on, nuggets, you need the McDonald's barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And I regretted not pocketing the signature sauce.
Yeah, you fool.
For my own home use. You know what, though? Honestly, for $1 to get even just a signature sauce, that's worth it to me. I'll go back.
Why don't we just go ask for the signature sauce?
They charge you nowadays.
How much? Like less than $1, probably.
Yeah, I think it might be like $0.25 or something.
Yeah, you wanted to buy nuggets, throw out the nuggets just for the sauce?
No, I'd eat the skins.
Yeah, you feed the insides to who?
The garbage can. What do you eat mayonnaise on?
man, the occasional sandwich or burger.
Okay. Do you have French fries with mayonnaise?
No.
You're missing out. That's the way the Belgians do it.
I know.
Once I learned about that.
I'm not fundamentally against it, but I would rather catsup.
Look, man, you don't have to choose at a lot of places. They'll give you both.
Yeah.
And I love variety in food. So if I have French fries with
No, you do. You go to McDonald's every day.
I order a different sauce. If I can have, I don't go there every day either. If I could,
How often? How many times a week?
I try not to go more than once a week as a treat.
But
And
I can point on your social media to the fact that is not true.
no, that's 100% true.
I'm not your doctor. You can't lie to me.
Because look, even if it was more often than that, I would not post about it to social media more than once a week. So that is
I'm
not true.
cross-referencing it with things you tell me. Like, oh, I got the
No.
signature sauce, and then I also see that you went there and got a salad.
It was the same time.
It's the same day?
Yeah. I gotten a 4-piece as a side order.
To your salad?
As a side salad to my salad.
So you
But
posted on Instagram.
I only ate the skins.
patting yourself on the back
Yeah.
for getting a salad, and you cropped out the other crap that you
I didn't
bought.
crop it out. I just moved it.
Yeah,
And it
right.
was a 4-piece. A 4-piece, which is nothing. That's
A 4-piece is more calories than you should have
no.
in one sitting.
Tim, I used to eat 20 pieces. No problem.
Yeah, I know. Tom, we're unhealthy people.
You made me lose my damn train of thought.
Sorry, they'll give you ketchup and they'll give you
Yeah,
mayo.
they'll
and
give
you
you
can
mayo.
dip fries in it.
They won't at, I guess you could ask at McDonald's. I've never asked for mayonnaise at McDonald's. I mean, it's probably Hellman's. I should start asking. I should start at, like, how many sauces
So
are
wait,
you allowed to give me?
You love mayo
Yeah.
and you love McDonald's, but you just scoffed at the idea of like, I don't want McDonald's mayo.
Yeah, but then I realized it's probably Hellman's and I do want it. I
Yeah.
told you, Tim, I won't have cheap mayonnaise. That's where I draw the line.
But you'll have cheap everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
your
take the
secret
money
to elevating a dish.
Yeah, I will take the money I've saved and use that to elevate my mayonnaise game.
Nice. But not beyond the Hellman's brand.
Not beyond the Hellman. I'm just worried.
We should also note that west of the Mississippi, what's it called? Like Best Choice?
Best Foods,
Best
which is
Foods.
so I have that in here. Hellman's.
Well, I just don't want people on the West Coast being like, Hellman's, what are these guys talking about? They sound like space aliens. What's happening here?
Hellman's and Best Foods are brand names that are used for the same line of mayonnaise and other food products. The Hellman's brand is sold in the UK, the United States east of the Rocky Mountains, Latin America, Europe, Australia, the Middle East, Canada, and South Africa.
All the good places.
The Best Foods brand is sold west of the Rocky Mountains and also in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. So I'm guessing so Australia seemingly has a similar divide because they have both brands.
Can I just tell you, Tom? I'm sorry I brought this up.
It's just I understand a regional like Rallies and Sonic.
No, Rallies and Checkers.
Rallies and Checkers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But once you expand to global footprint, pick a name and stick with it. Don't extend this problem out to the whole rest of the damn globe.
Yeah, that's true.
Hellman's. Do you remember we went to a wedding at the Hellman's mansion?
Did we?
Yeah. I don't want to blow up who it was, but we were at a wedding at the Hellman's mansion.
Yeah, the house that mayonnaise built.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very slippery.
I was disappointed
It was
that
a
there
house
weren't.
made of mayo.
Once I found out that that's where that was, that there weren't more. I was expecting some mayonnaise-based dishes during dinner. I mean, everything was delicious, but could always do with some more mayonnaise.
That shit.
You don't think Mr. Hellman eats?
No, God no. It's like I don't want to die. I need good food. I eat Sir Kensington's.
Hellman, Richard Hellman, Dick Hellman.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that'd be like a good name for a demon. Dick Hellman.
I mean, anything Hellman.
Yeah, but especially Dick. It's like, oh, it's also obscene.
Yeah.
He.
I mean, why not just name him like shit Hellman?
Ass Hellman. He was from Germany, but he started in New York City. That's where he came up with, somebody else had come up with mayonnaise, but he was like, not Hellman's mayonnaise. It was his wife's homemade recipe, which they put in salads, which is gross, in their delicatessen. The condiment quickly became so popular that Hellman...
With mayo in salads?
Yeah.
I mean, is ranch mayo-based?
I have a ranch packet in my cabinet. I can go check.
Well, no, the packet won't be.
But the packet will say, put this in mayonnaise, presumably.
Right.
What else would you put it in? Sour cream?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Huh.
The world will never know.
The condiment quickly became so popular that Hellman began selling it in wooden boats that were used for weighing butter.
Ugh. Well, I guess we buy it in jars.
In 1912, Mrs. Hellman's mayonnaise was mass marketed and later was trademarked in 1926 as Hellman's Blue Ribbon Mayonnaise. In the United States, what do you think? How much mayonnaise do you think is sold in the United States every year?
1,000 pounds.
No, dollar. Put $1 on it.
In the United States.
Yeah.
The entire mayo market.
We're talking Sir
Over 1 year.
Kensingtons. We're talking, I don't know if we're talking Miracle Whip and the derivatives, which we'll get into in a moment, but.
I'm going to say that is a $675 million a year market.
You're half right. $1.3 billion.
Wow.
In mayonnaise. It's a lot of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
No matter who you are.
That is. I mean, the Hellman estate was very nice when we went there. A little slippery, if you ask me. Ranch dressing is a combination of buttermilk, salt, garlic, onion, mustard, herbs, and spices mixed into a sauce based on mayonnaise or another oil emulsion.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of, it's pretty much mayo based. I made my own ranch dressing one time.
Yeah,
I used my mayo as a base.
I know.
But
you bring up you're always bragging about your the time you made ranch dressing.
I like nice things, Tom, and I don't trust other people's hands to touch my things.
If you like nice things, you should leave it to the experts.
No. The Hidden Valley people? I don't even know where that is.
Well, that's how they keep the secret safe, Tim. They're trying to stop the bootleggers like you making your own ranch at home.
To get it directly from them. They couldn't find the place.
Do you know that they started out, the Hidden Valley people, just selling like jars of the spices, like out of, I think it was like a gift shop or something, and it became just a sensation.
Wow.
And they were like, we should.
A taste sensation.
Yeah.
That enchanted a nation.
A world. Our world. Tim, let's talk mayonnaise alternatives.
Already?
And derivatives.
Why would you even want an alternative, Tom?
Well, so actually the first one I want to talk about is not, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't think there's that much to say. It's not an alternative, I would say. It's more of a flavor, is this Cadbury egg mayonnaise that they've gotten. It's a publicity stunt. They're only selling it for, I think, like 2 days in the UK.
That wasn't an April Fool's?
People thought it was, but it wasn't. I think they might have announced on April Fool's. I think that's a new thing, like announcing things that are real on April Fool's that seem, I mean, it was somewhat fake because I think they probably made like 1,000 jars of this. It's not like you're going to be, unless it takes off. But from what I read, it's actually not as gross as you would think, but also not good. People were just like, no, this is just like uninterestingly bad.
You famously love Cadbury eggs.
Yeah.
Which is
more than mayonnaise.
Yeah, which is weird because it's...
What if they made a mayonnaise-filled Cadbury egg? Go the other way. Get the Hellman's people.
I don't understand being... That's terrifying.
This was Heinz. Heinz made this.
What?
The Cadbury mayonnaise. Heinz also makes mayonnaise.
Yeah, they have 57 varieties, Tom.
That's of catsup. I don't think they push the Heinz mayonnaise that much in the U.S.
Wait,
I think they know.
You're claiming Heinz just has 57 varieties of only ketchup?
Yeah, that was their original. Oh, no. I guess it was like
No.
other shit. But it was exaggerated or something. They were lying. They're liars. You can't trust the Heinz people.
Wow, Tom. We're going to get sued into oblivion for that one. All right. Number one. It's weird that somebody likes a particular candy that much.
Yeah.
Because all candy tastes the same.
No,
it's all just sugar. It's
stupid asshole. It's great.
Number two.
Making me very mad.
Number two. I don't like eggs, which I think in part accounts for why I don't like mayo that much, right?
Right.
'Cause, it's mostly egg.
Do you like cakes?
Not really, no.
Well, I guess I stand corrected.
And this Cadbury thing is bringing two different egg things together.
Yeah.
And I know the Cadbury eggs aren't actually eggs.
No.
But also, like, enough with eggs, guys. Eggs are gross. There was some sick asshole that wouldn't stop going into the hen house and being like, all right, I'm gonna take these eggs and I'm gonna try to emulsifying it with some other things. I'm gonna try binding it, like doing all this stuff. It's insane that we have all these ways that we can consume eggs that are all like science experiments. This sick freak just was obsessed with being like, I'm gonna take these things from the chickens and I'm gonna find a weird way to eat them if it kills me. And guess what? He found a million ways to eat them. A million weird ways to eat eggs.
So you think hen houses came before anyone tried eating an egg?
Yeah, where else do you think they live?
They were just like, you know what? These chickens are pretty nice. Let's build them a house.
Oh, you think humans built the houses for them? That makes a lot more sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like eggs. You shouldn't base candy off of it either.
Look, I'll say the Cadbury cream egg mayonnaise. It's not. Nobody was asking for that.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking for that.
Yeah, they put sugar into everything. What would you say mayo is? Is it savory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they can.
It's not
Tim,
sweet. I know,
I
but
want
like,
to. I don't.
how would you
I don't want to
describe-
keep teasing the recipe that we're gonna give out, but you do have to put a little salt in.
yeah. How would you describe the taste of mayo?
Delicious.
Okay.
All right. So here's one of my beefs when it comes to mayonnaise. All these people that like aioli. Aioli's just mayonnaise with garlic in it, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But there are so many
too high frou for
No,
you,
I
Tom?
think that there are people that turn their nose up at mayonnaise, but they're like, "Ooh, but aioli, I love aioli. Oh, can I get a side of aioli with this?"
Well, it needs to be cut with a stronger flavor, I think, mayo.
Yeah, no, you're wrong. And like I said, aioli's great, but pump
Mayo
the
has
brakes.
that thing that vanilla ice cream gets, where people think of mayo as, oh, it's this bland.
No, it's not bland.
But because it's white, it's
Right.
just like default wet on a sandwich. But it has its own flavor.
Yeah.
It's not just default wet.
Right. I mean, it is pretty wet.
Yeah.
And
But the way that
slippery,
people
as you
are like,
pointed out.
vanilla ice cream is default, like, oh, this is just plain ice cream.
Yeah. No,
people
that's
think of-
vanilla flavoring.
Yeah. All right. Shut up. Stop being so condescending. I hate you. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit that you need to get started, so you can start investing at any level. Tom, just like you.
I'll start investing at the highest level.
Yeah, the simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data, and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular. Tom, we've made a 100 most popular list in our day.
No, I don't think so.
With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. So you can discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest.
Up or down? The movements.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got both.
Okay. Robinhood is giving listeners of The Complete Guide to Everything a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your profile. Sign up at guide.robinhood.com.
You alluded earlier, there's vegan mayonnaise.
Right.
And peonnaise.
What does that mean?
It's just made out of peas.
Oh, peas. Okay.
Yeah, not PP.
All right.
So basically you can make mayonnaise. You can not with any kind of protein, but you can replace the protein of an egg. Again, we're gonna get to the recipe for mayonnaise very soon, but it requires protein from an egg. Have you ever tried a mayonnaise alternative, an eggless mayonnaise?
I have.
And
it tastes just like mayonnaise.
So you also don't like it.
It's default wet. It's
Yeah.
fine. It wettens up a sandwich just fine.
Do you know what salad cream is?
No. Just ranch dressing?
No, it's just kind of like I think almost like a watered down mayonnaise. It became popular in the UK during World War II because of like rations and stuff.
That makes sense, because if you like mayo and you want to have something creamy on a salad,
Yeah.
mayo is too gloopy to just put in a salad, unless it's using to bind in a bound salad, Tom. To bind like a macaroni or a potato salad, right? But if you want to
Which over there they call mayo chicken and mayo potato,
which is
more accurate.
Yeah.
Way more accurate.
Yeah, calling that a salad is
Yeah. Well, it just shows how limited you are in thinking about salads.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes salads are something you get at McDonald's with a side of chicken nuggets.
So what I'm
still a
saying is
salad.
it's more easily like spreadable within
Yeah.
a salad
I
if
think
it's
I
a
just-
little watery.
I just
A
don't
little
like
creamier.
anything that's called like salad cream or sandwich spread. It's too generic to me. Like, tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
How are
don't
you
know.
deriving this cream?
Yeah, but you eat chicken nuggets.
Yeah, it tells you it's a nugget made out of chicken and some other stuff. Salad cream, it could be what you made a cream out of salads and I put that on something else, or I just eat that cream on its own.
I don't know, Tom. You're supposed to be telling me about these mayo alternatives.
What do you know about Miracle Whip?
I know I didn't have it as a kid.
Me neither.
We were not a Miracle Whip family, but we weren't even really a mayo family.
Me neither, although, so I'll tell you what Miracle Whip is. It's basically less expensive mayonnaise. Miracle Whip is made from water, soybean oil, high fructose corn syrup, vinegar, modified cornstarch, eggs, salt, natural flavor, mustard flour, potassium sorbate, spice, and dried garlic.
You're reading a Miracle Whip ingredients
I'm
list
reading
now?
the back of a
That's what we're
Miracle Whip
doing?
bottle, Tim. Jar. Miracle Whip has, I think, I remember as a kid saying, like, we should try Miracle Whip because I'm very susceptible to food marketing. And
You're susceptible to all marketing.
but especially food marketing.
yeah.
I was looking up.
Mostly because you're always thinking about food anyway.
Yeah. Where am I going to get it? How am I going to eat
Yeah,
it?
best of both worlds. Marketing and shoving crap down my gullet.
Tim, we're going to have to speed up if we want to get to mayonnaises around the world, a new segment. So I was looking up on Miracle Whip's webpage, or not webpage, Wikipedia page. Six Flags announced a partnership with Miracle Whip in 2009.
In 2009.
2009. Kraft paid Lady Gaga to include Miracle Whip in her music video for her song Telephone.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems like a mismatch.
Oh, well. Miracle Whip advertising features prominently in the Electronic Arts video game Skate 3.
Ooh, so a skateboarding game?
Yeah, including a dedicated trick, contest, and an achievement called Don't Be So Mayo.
Was Miracle Whip was doing that?
Yeah, Miracle Whip.
Because Miracle Whip's like,
Oh,
mayo
they're
sucks.
shitting on
We're
mayo
so different.
every chance they get. They say it's tangier.
Yeah.
But that just sounds like mayonnaise that's gone bad to me, or starting to go bad. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, Miracle Whip attempted more hip advertising with footage of teenagers having fun while an announcer berated mayonnaise.
Berated it?
Berated mayonnaise. And like presumably, in my mind, I'm imagining just like B-roll footage of teenagers like skateboarding, and then just an announcer being like, mayonnaise sucks. It sucks shit. It's stupid. Don't you hate mayonnaise? And that's just...
and they just think teens will be like, whoa, cool Ollie, cool 720. And then subconsciously they'll get all that mayo hate in there.
Well, what I want to know is how much mayonnaise were teenagers buying in the first place? That this is the market segment they're going after? Or are they trying to get to the moms of like, hey, Mom, don't put mayonnaise on my sandwich. All the kids will think I'm lame. Get Miracle Whip.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Millennial kids.
I wish I was never born. I wish
You're
I
not
was.
my best friend.
I wish I was born to a Miracle Whip family.
I never thought that. I've been in some houses that were Miracle Whip houses.
Criticism by Stephen Colbert led to Miracle Whip buying ad time on his show, The Colbert Report, and attacking Colbert for being a mayo lover. This included publishing an open letter saying the attack was raising hell, man. The whole debacle may have been staged by Kraft and Comedy Central.
Wow.
It may not have been a legitimate beef. Eventually, this advertising was dropped in 2018, so very recently, the town of Mayo, Florida, temporarily changed its name to Miracle Whip as a promotional stunt.
Who cares?
Man, if I were in a town that changed its name for a promotion, I'd be so embarrassed.
Who cares? No, you would love it. You would love
Well, depending on the
marketing
promotional
stunt. Oh wow!
Oh, they probably send some Miracle Whip to everybody. Then I'd be into it.
Yeah.
Look, you give me some free, even mayonnaise alternative, I'm into it.
Tom,
I'll change my name to Mayo Reynolds.
All right, before you talk nonstop for another 15 minutes, I
Yes.
just want to say one thing. I've embraced mayo a little bit more in my lifestyle. I forgot to
Since
mention
the
this
beginning
earlier.
of this episode,
No,
I convinced you.
Recently, instead of butter,
Oh yeah,
when making a grilled cheese, you spread some mayo on the bread.
This is legitimately a life-changing tip.
It's because I guess it has a higher smoke point.
Yeah, it won't. Yeah, it won't smoke as quickly.
So it cooks slower on the outside there, so you can get it crispy,
Nice and crispy.
and it gives the cheese time to amply melt inside.
Yeah, so you don't wind up with like a burnt bread and solid cheese.
Yeah.
It's 100% game changer. If you make grilled cheese sandwiches, you have to try it. And
If you don't make grilled cheese sandwiches, what's wrong with you? They're great.
And just by its very nature, mayonnaise is a lot easier to spread than butter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're always ripping up bread. Or I am, at least.
It's ripping bread.
What?
Sounds like ripping ass.
What's that mean?
Farting.
All right.
Tim, how do you make mayonnaise?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Do you know? Can you tell? I can tell you.
Tom, I made my own mayonnaise.
Yeah, tell
one
us
time.
how you made the
it
mayonnaise.
Twice.
A mayonnaise
the
so
first
nice,
time-
he made it twice.
Yeah, the first time everything went great, swimmingly. The second time I got so angry that I almost had a nervous breakdown.
Oh man.
Because you put like egg yolks, right?
Yeah, so it has to be the yolks, not the whites.
And-
Although some recipes do have the whites, but everything I read, they're like, no, just do the yolks. Important. Let me one more preface. Everything needs to be room temperature.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. What sicko went out and was like, all right, well, let's take this yellow gloob out of the
Egg.
the freaking clear viscous shit and see what we can do with this. And now let's take the clear viscous stuff and do stuff with that. Oh, it turns white. Enough, you sicko. Get away from the hen house. So you put the egg yolk and I think the acid
yes,
in a blender. You start blending it.
Well, or a whisk. You can whisk it.
Yeah, and then you slowly drizzle in the oil, and then it emulsifies
very slowly.
Yeah, and then you could also put things like mustard powder. I think you can throw in there.
Yeah.
Some
To
other
taste.
spices. Yeah, some salt.
Well, yeah, a little though. A little goes a long way with the salt.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you don't get it to emulsify, you got a mess on your hands. And the first time I made this, I was like, "This is so easy. This is so great." The second time I couldn't get it to emulsify. I smashed my walls. I took a sledgehammer to my wall, Tom. So angry.
You had beginner's mayonnaise luck.
Yeah. And then I haven't tried to make it again.
Well,
Have
Tim,
you ever made mayonnaise?
I've never made mayonnaise. I've eaten mayonnaise, as I mentioned earlier. And it's interesting that you bring up what kind of sicko would come up with this, because let me tell you about a theory called
God. God made it.
No. Hellman's anachronism. There are people that believe the fact that we know how to make mayonnaise is proof of future time travel. That somebody in the future, with like a supercomputer or whatever, knew how to make mayonnaise, and that they brought it back and told us.
I'm sorry, Tom.
What?
You just looked at your Apple Watch. You must have gotten some sort of buzz or notification. And I saw you glance at it and then ignore it. But I saw there was a picture of a man's face on your watch. Is that what that was?
Look, it's not important, Tim.
What was it?
It's unimportant, Tim. Look, maybe I've said too much about Hellman's anachronism.
Sorry, go on with the Hellman's anachronism. But I want answers about whose face was on your. You just looked at it. And was like, no.
Oh no, not now. So here's the. We don't have a lot of time left. I could really go down a rabbit hole here because I couldn't find the original article I read about this, and then when I did find an article about it, it had been deleted from the internet, and I couldn't find a cache of it anywhere. So it seems like somebody wants this buried. And then nobody really knows where mayonnaise was invented. There's a lot of debate. There's an island in Spain called Menorca. The largest city is called Mayonne, and people think mayonnaise.
Bayonne.
Tim, it's funny you mentioned that because Gramad de la Reynorie rejected. This was the guy that this is a different guy. He rejected the name mayonnaise because he thought it wasn't French. He rejected Mayonnaise because Port Mahon is not known for good food, and thus preferred Bayonnaise after the city of Bayonne in New Jersey.
Nice.
No, in France. Because they have many innovative gourmands and produces the best hams in Europe.
Best hams?
Best hams in Europe.
Best hams in Europe.
But there are people that say like France invaded this island in Spain, and that they saw the French people. They were all like, "Oh no, that's not what happened," because like that island in Spain, they weren't advanced enough to make good food. We came up with it.
What are you talking about? I legitimately.
Mayonnaise just came out of nowhere in like the late 1700s, early 1800s, and nobody knows for sure who the hell came up with this.
Are a lot of people claiming ownership of it, or is
A
everybody
little bit.
So it came from one of them.
A combination of van der Waals interactions and electrostatic repulsion determined the bond strength among oil droplets. The high viscosity of mayonnaise is attributed to the total strength created by these two intermolecular forces. Tell me that doesn't sound futuristic, Tim.
I mean, if you explain everything from like a chemical reaction standpoint, it sounds more complicated than like, oh, you're mixing milk into flour.
Well, because you have to do it just right or else it won't work. So probably the first guy who was like, let me try mixing it. It sucks. Didn't work. Forget it. I'll never try
He's
again.
trying all sorts of egg things. He had nothing but time on his hands, an egg on his face.
Another weird thing. Do you remember this Hampton Creek / Just Mayo fiasco? Scandal.
Wait, so the time travel thing is just that it seems
I'm
complicated?
getting more into it. This is all connected.
Okay.
Tim.
Yeah. No, I vaguely remember it. It was mayo that they made without eggs.
Yeah, it was called Just Mayo, but it was anything but because it was eggless mayo.
Right. Much like the Vegan-A's that I buy.
Yeah, they had actually used, they screened 1,500 plants before discovering 11 that were suitable for emulsification purposes in a mayonnaise. The plant that replaces the egg in Just Mayo is a specific variety of the Canadian yellow field pea, a type of split pea.
Right.
However, so these people got in trouble because it was a mayonnaise startup. And they had their employees go out and buy all the mayonnaise that they had sold to supermarkets and then call the supermarkets and be like, hey, you got Just Mayo? Oh, I'm dying for some Just Mayo, to create the idea that there was this insane demand.
Right.
So that they could mislead investors of like, we got a hot product here.
Right.
But here's the weird...
Well, all they had to do was believe in themselves.
Right. But here's the weird thing. How much money do you think that company raised off the idea of eggless mayonnaise?
$675 million. One half of the mayo market in the U.S.
It's not a bad guess, Tim, but it was $220 million.
Okay.
But they had investors like Bill Gates. Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, a very rich man. But then there was a Freedom of Information.
The Microsoft guy. Yeah, that's where I know his name.
I thought he was the Micro Machines guy, which what you said makes a lot more sense. I didn't know how you could get that rich off of, no matter how many Micro Machines you had.
Fast talker, man.
It's true. That guy came in, he was a real fast talker. I left $1 million poor.
Yeah.
Freedom of Information requests in late 2015 revealed that the government-controlled American Egg Board had engaged in a paid advocacy campaign targeting Hampton Creek through online media, with the board CEO dubbing Hampton Creek a major threat to the egg industry.
Yeah, of course. Big Egg is fucked as soon as they can reliably make mayo without eggs. They'd be like, oh, man, what are we going to do? We built all these hen houses.
The design of the first product, Just Mayo, is outsourced to Matson, a San Francisco food technology company. In 2016, Hampton Creek stated that it was investing in an automated process to analyze plants and their potential uses in food production in a robotic lab using artificial intelligence and machine learning in a project called Blackbird. Tim,
What?
all this stuff's insane. A lot of people don't want us knowing what's going on with mayonnaise, and there are a lot of powerful forces trying to come up with an eggless mayonnaise so they can go back and change the timeline so nobody figures out how to make mayonnaise in the first place.
Wait, how would making an eggless mayonnaise stop mayo from ever existing?
Because you go back in the timeline, and instead of introducing mayonnaise in the 1800s as some probably misplaced time traveler did, you introduce eggless mayonnaise. And that keeps everything a secret still, but it doesn't change the timeline enough so that events that occurred only because of mayonnaise still occur. So the timeline isn't that diverted.
What events that occur only because of mayonnaise?
I already talked about World War II. There were mayonnaise shortages.
Yeah.
So at some level, World War II was fought over mayonnaise. The butterfly effect, Tim. Who knows what happened?
Okay. So they're saving the eggs is what they're doing.
Yeah, but it's not about the eggs. It's about covering the tracks.
Of what?
Of the guy who went back in time and introduced mayonnaise and did God knows what else that changed everything.
Why wouldn't they just go... This doesn't add up, Tom, because they would have to go back and do the same
You're
thing.
You're in on this, aren't you, Tim? Tim, I might have to file a Freedom of Information request to get all of your emails.
I mean, you have my password, Tom.
All right, well, I'd like to go through there. I'd like to do a quick search for mayonnaise and eggs.
Tom, we share an email account.
Like a retired couple. Tim, would you like to solve a problem?
Yeah, I'm just surprised that you haven't floated your theory that mayo exists to help get food down your throat.
Oh, well, I mean, that's why they can't just go back in time and stop that guy and just eradicate mayonnaise entirely. Who knows who's going to choke if there was no mayonnaise around?
Everything's going to come back to this insane theory of yours, isn't it? Not even the mayo-related stuff, just everything.
It's all related. Everything's mayo-related.
All right, let's solve a problem. Hello and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. I'm Tim.
I'm Tom, for now.
What does that mean for now?
I don't know how the timeline's going to change.
And we're going to solve a problem. If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at thecompleteguideeverything@gmail.com. Tom, we're going to try to solve two problems today.
Oh, all right.
The first one is a guy... make up a name for this guy.
Tony.
Tony, I don't think really understands what this is, what this segment is. Hi, Tim and Tom.
A lot of people write in without having listened to the show.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of your podcast and love listening to it. For this one, if it's on the show, you can use my real name, but abbreviate it or make up something new. Tony, we'll give him.
If this one's on the show, do you assume we'll answer not on the show? Does he assume like we'll just reply?
No, if we choose it.
I see.
Well, this could have been my problem. I hand wrote a long story about a year and a half ago, and I realized I need to type it.
How old is Tony?
But I don't want to use Google Docs or something similar because, one, I'm not sure I would want to risk it crashing and or not saving properly. So I am asking you guys for help. If you have any suggestions on either what software or website to use to type my story or in general, I would really appreciate it. Again, I love the show. Don't stop.
Get a typewriter. Google, what? Was this email meant for us?
Yeah, he mentions the show a lot. Yeah. I'm a fan of your podcast.
Yeah, Google Docs saves continuously is my understanding.
Yeah.
Microsoft Word's also a good program.
Yeah.
I think that also has like an autosave functionality. Save it to Dropbox or Google Drive or something. You got redundancy.
I'd like to read this story once it's typed, though.
Yeah.
Scrivener, you use that one, right?
Yeah, and Scrivener is great, but I don't think you even need to go that far. I think you could 100% use something like Google Docs. Notepad or TextEdit, those come with Windows and Mac OS. They're free. Do you just have to hit save every once in a while?
Yeah. Use any of those.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for your email.
Come up with another name.
Man or woman?
Man, but it shouldn't matter, Tom.
Well, in that case, Chris. It could be a man's name or a woman's name, Tim.
Well, don't say Chris because that's the person's actual name.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll just go with Chris. Dear Tim and Tom, at my office, I share a cube with 3 other very nice people. However, 2 of them make near constant mouth noises, and it's driving me insane. One chews with their mouth open and also happens to be constantly snacking. That's the worst. The other chews gum often. Ugh, ban gum, right? but also makes a weird lip-sucking sound, FFFFFP, while working. Yeah,
like
probably
that, probably, yeah.
I finally broke down and talked to my boss today about moving desks. After laughing at me, he kindly agreed that I could move somewhere else. However, he stipulated that I needed to come up with an excuse for the move that we could provide to the cube mates so as not to cause any drama. I've been racking my brain for a good excuse, but I'm stumped, so I turn to you two for help. Please hurry, Chris. That's a good one, right?
Yeah, and that's, you know what? I'm 100% on HR side here, which normally is not the case. Normally,
you're a company man, Tom.
Normally I'm getting a talking to from HR.
Yeah, right.
About something I've
the
said.
RA.
Some off-color remark I've made during the office Christmas party.
A way that I've made another woman uncomfortable with my clumsy advances. What?
What was the other thing you were accusing me of that I got mad at you in the beginning? Oh, have I eaten too much mayonnaise, probably?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, look, I'm sick of you putting this idea out there.
Hiding the amount of times you go to McDonald's.
Oh,
also.
yeah. That I'm just some McDonald's-dwelling creep towards women.
All right, well, prove me wrong, Tom.
Well, burden of proof's on you. I was going to say I'm with HR. I think they're making you a more than fair bargain of, look, we'll move you, but you got to come up with the reason why.
Yeah, Chris isn't complaining about that.
Yeah.
I think we all realize HR is always acting in all of the employees' best interests.
No, that's rarely the case. They're looking to protect the bottom line.
Yeah, that's all they're looking for, the bottom line. Keep profits in the black, not in the red.
Mm-hmm. That's them.
Buy. Buy low, sell high. That's what they're trying to do.
You know, I always forget you have your MBA.
Yeah.
But then when you say things like, which just right over my head.
Yeah, no, I'll try once again to explain it to you after.
Yeah,
after
like a walking
podcast.
Excel spreadsheet sometimes. What would be a good excuse?
Number one, here's the thing. Can we just not have eating in the workplace anymore?
Yeah.
Well, how about we don't eat food at work? How about we all go to a designated area to eat at work, or eat off-site if possible?
That is how my workplace works. You're not allowed to eat in the workspace.
Yeah. Enough people snacking. I don't want to hear people snacking.
Yeah.
If any of my coworkers are listening to this, I don't mean you.
And
you're fine.
There is a kitchen where I work that people can eat.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You know, don't go in there if you're not ready to deal with the consequences. Yeah, so that is bad. I mean, I would say...
And gum we should just outlaw in general.
Good. They say gum now is good for ADHD.
Oh, cool. Great.
Yeah, it helps you focus, so please don't discriminate against people with...
I will not discriminate against anybody,
Tom. I would, if it were me, I would say they're moving me. I asked to be closer to the bathroom.
And then like humiliate yourself a little bit? Or are you like, I like to smell
No, I mean, I wouldn't. I thought humiliate, you meant like, oh, I have to use the bathroom a lot.
Everybody has to use the bathroom, Tom.
I
That's
think
nothing.
Humiliating yourself by saying you like the smells that come out of the bathroom, that's unnecessary. That's going to go too far. You don't have to humiliate yourself that much.
What if you... It depends on how much Chris wants to remain close with these people. Like friendship-wise, because you can just
it sounds like he's sick of it. He's done with them.
Yeah, if you just go in there and be like, you know what, I really don't want to talk about it, but you two have offended me so deeply.
Well, no, because then they're gonna try and figure out what they did.
Yeah, I know, and it sets them on a whole wild goose chase. They'll never think it's because we're making mouth noises all the time.
I will give. Here's my number one tip. No matter how tempting it is, do not disclose the actual reason to the third person who is innocent in all this, because no matter how much you think you can trust them, they're the one who's still going to be in the trenches with these other two people.
Yeah.
And you can't, when push comes to shove, you're not going to be able to trust that one day they might say, it was you too.
Yeah.
It was the mouth noises. That's why Chris left.
Light a small fire in your work area, like at your desk. And then be like, I had to move because of the fire.
My honest thing would be, maybe this is why HR departments don't like me, is I would agree to those terms and then I'll come up with an excuse. And then when I went to move, I would say, yeah, they're making me move. I don't know why. Then just move.
Yeah, you probably would.
But honestly,
well, also you're a coward and don't like confrontation.
No.
Same with me.
Yeah,
it's fine.
And I'll just keep kicking that confrontation can down the road.
Yeah.
Although I will say that honestly, I think if you did say something like that, the chances that it would get pushed beyond that are slim to none.
Yeah.
That people would just say, all right.
Just leave and don't.
Yeah, or just don't say anything.
Yeah, I think you're just like, I'm moving over there.
Yeah, they told me. Honestly, oh, shit.
Or just be like, I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Well, then it's going to start gossip. No, but I just realized I was like.
But it's something you did.
You just want to send them on a wild goose.
Yeah, don't you want to send them home feeling like a little guilty and then just like, shit, what did I do?
No, I think
am I liable for that? Like, am I gonna? And then
no, because the difference between you and this Chris person is that they don't think these people are evil because they make mouth noises, whereas you think there's something wrong with these people.
In the workplace. Go do your mouth noises away from everybody is all I'm saying. And never chew gum.
No.
Chew gum. Jesus Christ.
I'm realizing when I said shit before, I was about to say, I don't know, the last job I had, the people were always moving their desks away from me to other places, and they never said why. They always, and I'm realizing like, oh, maybe I was the reason why.
Yeah.
They were always like, oh no, I don't know. They said I had to move, and I was like, that's weird. I never have to move.
Just tell them, I don't know, they're making me move.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at completeguideeverything@gmail.com.
Light a fire.
You can follow us. You can go to our website, tcgt.com. You can support us by supporting our sponsors. Also, check out tcgt.com/Amazon for your Amazon shopping. We appreciate everybody that does that. It makes a big difference. And patreon.com/complete guide for our Patreon, where you get weekly episodes of Books the Podcast. This month we're reading The Outside. Tim's reading The Outsiders.
Hell yeah.
And telling me all about what's going on out there. What's going on outside.
Yeah, on the outside looking in. You're on the inside looking out.
Yeah. It's like reading an REI catalog.
Yeah. Hey, want to
so much outside happening.
Want to be a complete guide insider and hear us talk about the outsiders? Head over to patreon.com/complete guide.
Yeah. And you can follow us on social media, facebook.com/complete guide, @complete guide on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @TomReynolds.
Follow me at your pal Tim. Tom.
Yeah.
I have a very quick request also.
Mm-hmm.
What really helps us is if you go in and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Go in there, leave us a nice review.
Mm-hmm.
Leave us 5 stars. There's some people that don't get the show. They've been creeping into those old comments there.
Yeah.
We'd really appreciate it if you do like the show to go
Right.
and write an honest little assessment of it there.
And if you don't like the show, we'd appreciate you keeping that between me, you, and the wall.
If you don't like the show and you just listen to 59 minutes of us screaming at each other about mayo,
then you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You did like it. There's some little old lady just like, I just was waiting for that mayonnaise recipe, and they didn't even give a very detailed one. It wasn't very good. And if you're in Chicago, headgum.com/live for those Chicago tickets. If you're elsewhere.
And don't just go to the Doughboys show and not our show. Look, we would all just rather just go to the Doughboys show and not our show.
Yeah, that's what me and Tim would prefer to do. But look,
no, we're gonna put on a hell of a show.
The only way we could get there was by also doing a show of our own. We asked, we're like, can we just come and watch the other shows? They're like, no, I mean, we're not going to pay for you guys to come out there and just watch other shows. You're going to have to do your own show. So
yeah,
you might as well come see it too. Tim, final thoughts on mayonnaise. Has your opinion been swayed? Has anything changed? Do you see the error in your mayonnaise ways? No. I didn't even get to mayonnaises around the world.
Oh, jeez. You want to quickly do that?
Yeah. The first of a recurring segment, mayonnaises around the world. Oh, God, now I can't find it. Well, now I'm nervous because, you
asked me a question. I started to answer, and then you started screaming about something that you weren't even prepared to talk about.
Yeah, because I thought you'd be interested in this. You know what? I'm going to do a twofer.
Okay. For this initial, and then next week we'll do...
Yeah, we'll do the next one. But, you got to start off strong because people are going to hear the first one. They're going to be like, I don't want to wait till next week. I want to binge my mayonnaises around the world.
Right. I want to mainline that mayo.
Line it.
Yeah.
Japanese mayonnaise is typically made with apple cider vinegar or rice vinegar and a small amount of MSG, which gives it a different flavor from mayonnaise made from distilled vinegar, which is what me and you are used to.
I want to cook more with MSG.
Right, like when we were growing up, it was like, oh, this stuff's so bad, it's worse for you.
I'm told it's racism is why they were doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a good Sporkful episode about it.
I think what it is, like, MSG is very addictive.
I think that was a myth also.
But I don't think it was, like, addictive like freaking heroin or whatever. No. I think it was just like, oh, it tastes good. Yeah. Like, anything that tastes good is addictive.
Yeah.
We should start cooking with MSG.
Yeah.
Start cooking with gas.
All right.
Number 2. This one will surprise you.
Tom, can we please wrap this up?
A 2004 study showed that Russia is the only market in Europe where mayonnaise is sold more than catsup by volume. It is used as a sauce in the most popular salads in Russia, not Russian dressing.
Wow, Tom, maybe you should move to Russia since you like
mayonnaise so much. I feel like they probably, in Russia, they probably don't have Hellmann's. They probably have like, we use state mayonnaise. It's the only mayonnaise.
Grow up, Tom.
I'm just telling you what things are like in Russia. Look, Tim, we don't have a big Russian audience.
Oh, you know what would be a good demon name? Vladimir Hellman.
Oh, shit. Yeah. If you showed up at a business meeting and somebody came in, I am Vladimir Hellman, you'd be like, oh, no, I'm about to make a deal with the devil himself.
Done for here.
Yeah, so keeping it, don't accept. You get a calendar invite from a Vladimir Hellman, decline.
Yeah.
At the very least, hit snooze on that notification.
Or just ignore it. You ever do that on a calendar invitation? So like,
yeah, but then it will still come up
mark
on the calendar.
Yeah, but you don't have to go.
Yeah, I had to disconnect like Facebook stuff because of that. Because it would be like, oh, come to my show.
Oh, you had that? You had Facebook hooked up with your personal calendar?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! How do people live?
Time.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.